Hi everyone, welcome back. So today's video feels a little bit surreal to be filming. I am 39 weeks pregnant and I'm going to talk you through my birth plan. Now I use these little emotions because this is a very loose plan. It's not even really a plan, it's just an idea of how I would like things to go. Just want to quickly say that I am pre-recording a couple of videos. Well, I'm 39 weeks pregnant, they're not that pre-recorded, but I've not really been that organised to be honest. But I do have quite a few stored up so that I've got things to upload when baby boy is here. We are expecting him to arrive in the next couple of weeks and both very excited, but I just wanted to get a couple of videos filmed and out of the way so that I had to share them with you. So you might actually be seeing this after I've given birth, depending on how I decide to upload these. I've got quite a few banked up ready to go. But I have everything written down here. This is the little sheet of paper that I've got in my hospital notes. I have written this out about 3 times and tried to write it as neatly as possible. And I know I could have typed this up and printed it out, but we didn't have any ink. So I've gone really old school and I've written everything down. And basically the idea, if you're not familiar with a birth plan, is that some people don't do one whatsoever. They're just quite happy to go into hospital, be really laid back and just kind of go with the flow. And some people have everything documented that they want to kind of happen, or what their, what their preferences are, I suppose, when they go into hospital, or if it's a home birth, anything like that. And I am quite an organised person. I struggled a lot with anxiety in the past. If you've been a watcher of my channel for a while, you'll know that kind of mental health history. I don't really want to touch on it too much, but because I've been there, I've done that, all the videos are there. But my main thing around my anxiety, which isn't really around anymore, is fear of the unknown. So kind of something as big as this, doing it for the first time, is something that I kind of wanted to write a few things down that I would have, even if nothing on here actually happens. It just makes me feel better that I've written some of this stuff down. And at antenatal, they give you a good guideline of things to include and not to include if you go to antenatal classes. I would really recommend doing that. We absolutely loved ours, but obviously every area is different. And it makes me feel better, but it's also something that when I go into hospital, because we are planning to have this baby at hospital, fingers crossed it's not going to be born in the back of the car or in co-op or wherever. When I get there, the midwife will be able to see this and kind of have a general idea of what I would like to happen and not have to keep asking me, that it's just there, that they've got everything. Now, mine is pretty basic. I am quite, I don't know, would you say traditional? I've not really done any hypnobirthing or any relaxation techniques. Things like that don't really work for me. I have obviously Googled different breathing techniques and things like that, but I am very much aware. When I was going through my depression and anxiety, I went for counselling, and one of the counsellors that I tried really believed in kind of hypnotherapy and taking you out of the room and popping you on a beach and using that to calm you down. And I know that can be an amazing technique for some people, but I just would sit there with my eyes closed thinking, but I'm not, I'm in your room about 10 minutes away from Blackpool. I'm not on a beach in Bali. I just can't, I can't go there. I don't know, my imagination doesn't work that way. So I felt like if I had kind of music on in the background that I wouldn't usually listen to, that's meant to relax me, the kind of person I am, I'd just be sat the whole time who's got this music on? Why am I playing this whale music? This is not for me whatsoever. I don't know, it just doesn't work for me, and I know it works for a lot of people, so don't expect a lot of things like that in this birth plan. This is very, I would say, bog standard, a good place to start for a lot of you if you're thinking of a hospital birth. So basically it just says where I plan to give birth at the top. I have also stated who my birth partner will be, so obviously it's going to be Tommy. Tommy's the only one coming to hospital with me. It's just going to be me and him. We have relied on each other for nearly 11 years now. I was getting emotional then. It's been just me and him, and obviously we have a big family. There's a lot of people around us, but essentially it is just Tommy and I, and this is something that we have done completely on our own. With a lot of things that we've done in the past, but this obviously, it takes 2 people to tango. I'm the mum, he's the dad. You know, that's the science behind it, guys. So he's the only one that's going to be there. He is my rock through everything. He's more than anyone or everything that I would need there. So we started this journey together, and we're gonna jolly well finish it together. I have stipulated that I would like my IV, if I need one, to be in my left hand. I write with my right hand. This is my like primary hand, if you like. So you feeling quite smug? I'm feeling quite smug. So I have said that I would like it in my other hand, just in case. Obviously, if it can't happen that way, or I have to have 2 IVs, but I would like it just to be my left hand, if possible. This is all if possible. Like best case scenarios. I know none of this might not happen. I've said that I'm happy for regular checks. I'm not really against the midwife interfering. They know what they're doing. They are the experts. Obviously, it's my body and I'll be aware of different things that they won't be able to feel or know what's going on. But if it's that they're coming in to ask how I am or to check how far along I am, suggest different things that I could maybe do, then I am fully up for that. With regards to pain relief, I have said that I would quite like a birthing pool. Now, I don't know really if I want a water birth or not. I'm going to very much put it down to the day. I didn't want to set my hopes on it because at first they were talking about inducing me, and I wouldn't, because it would have been like a higher risk, I wouldn't have been able to have a water birth. But the hospital, I don't know how many pools they have. I don't know how many women are going to be in there when I go in, if there's going to be a pool available. So I don't want to sit there and say, I really want a water birth, I'm not giving birth any other way, and then there not be a pool for me to actually give birth in. So I would like one to be there. I think it would be really, really good, like a soothing technique, generally, just kind of like having a big bath. I've heard the temperature of the water feels really, really soothing, and it can really help. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And along with that, if there is one there and I'm really comfortable in it and I end up thinking, actually, I could quite happily give birth in this pool, then I will do that. The only thing that I will say is that I've heard when we went to antenatal classes and speaking to my midwife, they have a new technique called the hands-on approach, I think it's called. And they basically, it's something that they can do when you're on like the bed, but they can't do obviously when you're in the water, is they can basically, they get a sanitary towel or a sanitary pad and pop it on your perineum, which is the bit that is quite likely to tear when you're giving birth. Well, in a lot of cases it can do. They pop their hand there and apply a little bit of pressure when baby is coming out, so that the idea is, and the statistics show even, that it does reduce tearing in a lot of cases. And obviously if it happens, it happens, a tear's a tear. But if that's something that is an added positive, you know, it's handy, it's a good thing to know, I think. So I'm open to anything, basically. Gas and air, I'm going to try it. I do get a bit kind of like woozy and wheezy. I'm one of the people that I get sick if I like read on my phone too much in the car. I'm not really good with that stuff. I do feel like I have quite a good pain threshold. This will be the real test. I've had several gallstones attacks in the past 1.5 to 2 years, and a lot of people have told me that childbirth is actually less painful than gallstones, so I'll be able to give my opinion on whether I think that's the case or not. But I'm gonna, if I need gas and air and it's there, then obviously, well, it will be there, then I'm gonna try it. And what I like about that is that it's kind of, once you breathe it into your system, if you want it to leave, it pretty much, you breathe it straight out. Whereas there are a couple of things in the middle, which I will link down below. I'll link kind of like more information for pain relief and stuff like that during labour down below, that I'm not going to go for, because some of them stay in your system for quite a while. A couple of them, I think one of them at least, passes through to baby and can make baby seem kind of a little bit out of it when he arrives. So I'm going to try and stay clear of those. And then the last one, obviously the highest pain relief method, would be an epidural. And in this kind of scenario, obviously general anaesthetic if I end up having a C-section, because that might also be a possibility, or local anaesthetic. It depends on the scenario, I think. But an epidural, they get such a bad rap. There are so many, the amount of times that I've spoken to people that have been like, oh, do it without an epidural, I did mine without an epidural, I didn't need the epidural. And then some people that have had the epidural that are like, I couldn't have done it without it. And I think that for women, especially women that have given birth, to kind of sit and say, you shouldn't have an epidural, you don't need the epidural, and to be so against it isn't really like a nice way to be. I don't really agree with that, because every woman and every child, every baby is different. Every labour is different. And I have no idea what's coming. I have no idea what's around the corner. So I'm not going to write on this sheet, I am against epidurals, and then I get in there and I'm in absolute agony and I need to get this baby out somehow and I have no idea how I'm going to do it. If it's that they suggest maybe now you should look at having an epidural, then that's the route that I'm going to go down. I would like to do it without, personal preference. I am not going in there thinking I'm having the epidural completely, fully. I would like to do it without. I'd like to experience it without. But if I need it, if I'm in that much pain, it's there for a reason, and I'm going to jolly well take it. I have said that I would like the midwife to encourage and guide my pushing, so that kind of comes back before. I read the Positive Birth book, I think, and they had quite a good kind of like template for different things to include in your birth plan, and that was one of them. I would recommend that book. It was actually really, really good and handy to read. I've said that I would like Tommy to pass baby to mum if possible. I know obviously every situation is different, that might not be the case, but I would like him, the midwife, to literally pass the baby to Tommy and then Tommy to pass him to me. The midwife suggested that's quite a common way of doing things. I also would like Tommy to be the one to cut the cord. That's fairly common as well, and we are going for optimal cord clamping, which you might have seen. There are a lot of campaigns about this on Facebook going around at the moment, where basically the longer you leave, I think it's like a 15-minute window, cutting the cord is meant to be better for baby, whereas in like when I was a baby, you just kind of cut it straight away. There's a lot of goodness there that you're potentially cutting off from baby if you cut too soon. But Blackpool Hospital, where I will be, they actually have that's like their standard way of doing things now, so I didn't really need to put that on there, but just for peace of mind I have added it on there. I've said that I'm foreskin to skin, that sounded so bad. I would like to practice skin to skin, so I'm all about kind of like sitting there naked and just, it's so funny, years and years ago I wouldn't even get changed in front of like, I wouldn't even look at myself in the mirror, I wouldn't get changed in front of one of the dogs, and now I'm just like wandering around naked and not bothered who sees. We are going to give baby the vitamin K injection. Apparently stops kind of hemorrhaging and very serious bleeding in newborns, which is why I think it can prevent like bleeds on the brain and things like that. So that's why we're going for that. Obviously everybody's different, but I am for that, and so is Tommy. I am going to have the injection for the placenta to be delivered so that I don't have to kind of give birth to that naturally myself. They basically give you an injection straight after delivery, and it means that the placenta will come away hopefully quicker than it would if you were to do it naturally without the injection. I think at that stage I just kind of want baby to be here with me and enjoy that time with him. I don't want to then be thinking, right now I've got to do this other thing, whereas if I have the injection, it'll be a lot quicker process. And then I've also said that I would like a calm and dimly lit first hour. So afterwards, after baby's there, I would like it to just be Tommy and I, very, very kind of cozy and comfortable. Obviously, if everything goes smoothly and everything goes to plan, and once the midwives have done everything they need to do, once everything settles down, if fingers crossed everything goes smoothly, that it's just us three together, and just to kind of enjoy those first precious moments together without people running in and rushing out or shouting or switching lights on and switching lights off. So I think that's a fairly standard thing that they do, but again I just wanted to put that down there. The last thing on that is that I am hoping to breastfeed, which I've shared with all of you before. You should know my thoughts on it. Everyone's different, every case is different. I might not be able to do it, baby might not be able to do it, but I would really like to try. So I thought I'd pop that on there just so they're aware of that as well. So that is everything essentially on that list. I'm literally just waiting for him now. I'm just waiting for the signs. I was up last night in the middle of the night counting contractions on my phone because they were coming through quite regularly, but they must have just been false labour pains because he's not here yet. I'm still very much pregnant. And yeah, I'm getting a little bit terrified, I'm not gonna lie, just because it's fear of the unknown, and I don't know, it's one of those things where I think so many women have been through it, I'll be fine, I knew what I was getting myself into. But then on the other hand, it is a massive deal, and as much as you can prepare and organise for these things, the fact as well that I don't know when it's going to happen, or how it's going to happen, I know that I'm one of them people that when something is happening, I'm in the moment and I'm very focused and I'll get myself through it, and Tommy's there, but it's the build up, it's always the build up with me. So I'll be fine, I know I'll be fine. I really hope you've enjoyed this and that it's helped in some way. I will probably be doing a birth story, or like how our birth labour kind of went afterwards, so you'll find out if any of these actually came through or whether it just all kind of went to shit basically. But I will let you all know. I really hope you have enjoyed this. Please do subscribe if you fancy sticking around for any more videos from me, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you for watching.